What's up, guys? I think we got this figured out a little bit better today. Today, I'm going to give it a few minutes just to see if anybody joins. And then if not, we'll just kick things off. Topic of discussion today will be isolate versus full spectrum CBD, and what's the difference, why that's important, and how you can use that to help yourself. I don't think we have too many join, but we're going to go ahead and kick it. The topic of discussion today is isolate versus full spectrum. I think that a lot of people, when they go to the store, they think, okay, what is the real difference between isolate and full spectrum? An isolate refers to the fact that the cannabinoids that are present in CBD have been isolated. In this case, there's just one present. A very pure, normally THC-free or very close to THC-free version of CBD. So for those of you who are working at government jobs, or may get frequently tested for a urinalysis by your employer, what have you, isolate might be just a safer option for you. A lot of the times, you get into the full spectrum side, which we will in a second. You're going to see a little bit more THC present. Nothing above the legal limits that we discussed yesterday, but still a little bit there. So I guess for starters, let's talk ice a little bit more. The idea that you can isolate a cannabinoid in CBD really just means that if you can narrow down to one particular benefit. An isolate could be featured as just a normal CBD cannabinoid, or it could be a specific, what I call a sub-cannabinoid, which would be something like CBC, CBG, CBN, and I know that sounds confusing, so we are going to come to that later this week, but for now we're going to stick kind of high level. In this particular case, I use an isolate sometimes for mixing with my shakes and supplements and stuff like that. Where I see the most benefit of it is most of the time post-workout using an isolate. I just feel better. I feel like my muscles respond a little bit better, recover a little faster. But for generally everything else, I use a full spectrum. So without further ado, let's jump on to that. Full spectrum CBD. First and foremost, full spectrum really just refers to whole plant, meaning as opposed to an isolate where there's just one single cannabinoid, a full spectrum will have multiple cannabinoids. As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, that CBC, CBG, CBN stuff that I was mentioning, all of those, or a measure or some of those, will be present. In other words, more than one cannabinoid will be present. Now, the benefit of that is the entourage effect. Some of you may be familiar, some not, but entourage effect is really just another way of saying that the cannabinoids present in that particular CBD will potentiate each other to the extent that they will multiply their overall potency up to 330%. 330%. So if we're looking at an isolate for pain that maybe come in a cream or something like that, you're going to get whatever that dose is, or you're going to get that purity from that particular cannabinoid, but that's all you're going to get. Beyond that, that's when you really look to full spectrum. And I personally prefer full spectrum for things like tinctures and soft gels and anything that I'm going to ingest. And in addition, I like doing it for topicals as well, being that, once it does, if you can get it through the skin and into the blood, it's really going to make a bigger difference in a lot of other ways. I mean, I've tried some topicals, and once they get through my skin, they actually start, making me relaxed, and I didn't really use it for that, but depending on the quality of CBD you have and what kind of product it is, it can actually get through the cell wall and get into your bloodstream and make a big difference. So simplified, you have isolate, which is just one single cannabinoid. It's pretty pure, usually THC free. And full spectrum, which is a great alternative, probably reaches a little bit further and does a little bit better job with pain management and overall, well-being. But again, I think risk versus reward. Always make sure that you're doing what's best, and it's not going to get you in trouble, and keeps you in compliance with whatever compliance you have to fall within. So really short session today. I mean, I think full spectrum versus isolate, something we just kind of had to get out of the way. It's nothing that's going to derail the conversations in the future, but biggest thing I would say is I personally prefer full spectrum. I use it generally speaking for anything that I take daily and any kind of pain. But I have seen lots of success with isolates. It's just, whatever's going to suit you best, I think is where you want to go with it. So other than that, there's really not a lot more to it. I just wanted to pop in here real quick, hit that. Tomorrow, we're going to cover the actual cannabinoids themselves, what to look for when you're looking at a certificate of analysis, what kind of cannabinoids and what their properties are, what ailments they help with, what things they can help you get past, whether it's anxiety or, pain or just mental clarity, things like that. We'll get more into what does what. And you'll start to see how the full spectrum really comes alive, I think, once we get into the cannabinoids. So I don't think we've seen any questions come today. I didn't get very many yesterday. I got a couple, but I think we rolled that into this. But going forward, like I said, tomorrow we're gonna hit the types of cannabinoids and what they do, and then we'll go a little bit deeper every session, and then hopefully we'll have a catalog of questions and things that we can answer to help make this whole session more purposeful and useful to you. So again, I appreciate everybody joining. Again, we went over isolate versus full spectrum today. And if you have any questions, please definitely send me a DM or post in a comment. We would love to hear from you. Love some feedback about this video, even if it sucks. But please, thank you first of all for joining. I really do appreciate your time, and I look forward to continuing this. You guys have a good one.